I recently turned this boring white studio setup into a crazy RGB setup, and today I'm gonna talk about the cheap and expensive products I used to create all of this RGB, and we will also be building an AI sync setup that completely reacts to what's on your screen, so all the RGB will be reacting to your game. Now before I get into the first product, a big thanks to the intro sponsor, Owned. Own3d has a huge library of graphics packs that are of the highest quality and that are all completely animated. One of my favorite packs is the Dark series. You can click on live demo, and with this tool you can test everything that's inside of the pack. You can see how the alert looks, you can click on overlays on the top and then on scene transition, and you will see exactly how it will look on your stream. Now, besides graphics, you can find the remote makers, and you can simply upload a picture from your PC. For example, this is a profile picture of mine, and just like that you can transform it into an animated emote. My code TVN always has 50% off. I will link it in the description. The link is own.gg/tvn. Now, inside of pretty much all my cabinets, I have these RGB cabinet lights, and these are great for creating a specific mood depending on what you're showing off inside of your cabinets. If you go on Amazon and you search for RGB cabinet lights, you will find them right there. The price is around 33 bucks, but there's a 15% coupon. But look at this, especially for setup videos or setup pictures, these lights create a great atmosphere. By the way, I need to get rid of those holes. Look at this, you can completely get rid of them. However, you need to use this right here, which is IKEA Variera. I definitely completely butchered that name, but these make the cabinets look very clean. I definitely need to do it everywhere. I think those plugs cost $1 for a whole bag. This here is the box that they came in. Now, I ordered them from Amazon.nl, so they might not be completely the same. However, these also came with double-sided tape, 4 on the back. They came with a bunch of screws. I didn't use them. And here are all the remotes of all the lights. I obviously didn't need all of them, but I think this one will work. And as you can see, you can change the color of the lights as well. They are very bright if there's not too much light in the room. It's more for a cozy, chill bedroom, gaming room, or you have a few cabinets that are lighted with this, with some stuff in them. Now, the next product is really interesting. It's what you see behind me. And creating this type of look on the front of your desk is something that used to be pretty complicated. Well, not that complicated, but for example, in a previous Christmas setup I built, I used Govee Light strips, which is the same company that made this here, but they're LED strips. And in that video, I used something called LED profiles. And basically, you put your LED strips inside, and then there's a diffuser that goes on top. And as a result, if you install this on a wall or on the front of your desk, then as a result, you get one diffused LED line, and that allows you to create some really interesting effects. It was great in that video. But now with this product, you can just stick it on the front of your desk. And I already did something like this, but I want to show you what it looks like. By the way, before I forget, Govee is sponsoring this video. However, as you can see, I have so much stuff of them. I did send them an email, I asked for all this stuff that was not part of this video. I just installed this whole studio, and then they reached out for a sponsored video, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna show people what I've built a few months before that. And look at this. This is such a convenient product. And before you say the other effect you showed me from the video was better. So I'm in the application right now, and I'm gonna try to look for an interesting scene. Oh, look at that. It's already animating. This is Christmas. Well, that's a bit too early. There is lots of options with this. I could transform this whole studio, give it a different vibe. Okay, I finally found the theme I like. It's different kinds of blue going from left to right. The rope also bends very well in corners, so you can put it in a corner like that, or you can put it around the corner from a desk. And I mean, overall, I think this is a really sleek upgrade for any setup. It looks very clean in the dark, and even with so much light going on here, it's very visible. So this is a great upgrade. By the way, that thing on the top is the exact same thing. That's also rope, and maybe I need to animate it because this is really interesting in the back. That was actually the goal of this studio, to animate everything, because all of this stuff is from Govee. I could sync all of it. I just did the same thing to the LED strips on the back under the cabinets. As you can see, they are animating right now. This is a star effect. I mean, the lightning effect. Look at that. Okay, this is hard to look at. I think it's pretty clear there are options. I just have to sync everything together and make it less, well, likely to make you get a headache. Now, the next upgrade I want to show you isn't available on my main camera, but it's the Astronaut right there. Now, this doesn't add that much to the setup in terms of RGB, but it's a really cool RGB gadget. Now, I've talked about this Astronaut before. This head is detachable, and the reason for that is that this way you can aim the head however you want. And if I haven't mentioned it yet, this is a galaxy projector, so it means that you can put it on your your nightstand, for example, and then aim it at the ceiling. And then from the helmet right here, there's a projector inside, and it's gonna project the galaxy on your wall, on your ceiling, wherever you point it at. I did show off the effects in one of my cool gadgets videos, so I'm gonna show some footage of that. But to be fair, the biggest reason I like this is just how cool it looks. I mean, look at this. You can put it somewhere, for example, in your setup, aim it at you, and I'm looking at this preview. It looks like it's looking at me. This overall is a great gadget to put in your setup. I'm definitely gonna link it below. You've probably seen this already. Now, there's one extra product that Govee sent me for this video specifically. By the way, I am pretty sure that there's gonna be a huge Prime Day discount. Prime Day should be coming like 1 or 2 days after publishing this video, and this is the Govee Light Hexagon. Now, behind me, you can already see a very similar product, and that's because this here is the Govee Light Hexagon Pro. Just like with all of these products from Govee, we can choose another theme and then just make it do that. Let's take something more soothing. All right, I definitely like that theme. That definitely fits the setup. I'm gonna make it blue again. Now, the main difference between those right there and then these is that those are divided into 3, and then these are just 1 panel each. I'll take 1 panel out so you can take a look at it and get a feel for the size. These are pretty big panels each. On the back there is double-sided tape to hang this on the wall, and these are very clean panels. Now, I did use the exact same panels in my Galaxy streaming setup. I will show you some footage of attaching the panels to the wall, and I did also test a bunch of themes in that video. I really like these panels. They are not that cheap. I'm not exactly sure what the price is. If it's Prime Day or maybe later this year, Black Friday, you can always score a deal on these. So if you're in time for Prime Day, it might be the perfect opportunity. Either these ones or the Pros, both look amazing in any setup. They produce a lot of light, they look great in the background, they look great above a setup. I will put a few links to the Govee Prime Day deals or normal links in the description. Alright, next I want to check out this Govee AI Light Sync box, because I'm not entirely sure how this works. So we have this HDMI box, I'm not sure what else to call it. So this has a bunch of HDMI ports. So there are 3 HDMI in ports and then 1 HDMI out and then 2 USB-C. I think there's a maximum of 2 Govee lights that you can connect to this here to sync to your screen in real time, but I'm not sure. So that's what I wanted to check out. As you can see, these are lights similar to those that you see behind me, and they have to be connected with a USB-C port. So I guess 2 gadgets can be connected to this. Let's see what else they give you. Alright, so these are RGB strips and then 2 stands. These are for these lights here. I already installed them on those. Seems to be a black RGB strip, and it actually is. I've never seen this before, to be honest. As you can see, there's a strip part, then some cable, then another strip part, and this is to place the strips around the back of your monitor. Those will be shining on the wall with the same colors that are on the screen. And there's one last box here. Okay, HDMI cables. So the basic setup of this is going to be your gaming PC going into this box or your console. Then this box is gonna read all the color information. It's gonna change your lights, and then the HDMI out is to go to your monitor so you can actually see what your PC is sending through this box. Now we're going to use those lights in a second, but I also want to talk about some more affordable options in terms of RGB and making your setup look better or your room. And you probably recognize this, but this is a great budget way to add some interesting stuff to your room. Is it cliche? Absolutely. Now, the great thing about this is that it not only works through USB, which is also a plus point. You can just plug it into your PC, for example, and it always works. But you can also use batteries to power it. These are chargeable batteries. They are very cheap on Amazon. Okay, let's check what it looks like when we turn it on. Now, as I said, it definitely looks cliche because you see these things all over the place. However, it's for a reason, because look how cool this looks. You can also buy these in a lot of themes. There are some really cool astronaut designs with these. There's also the very typical huge LED banana. I'm gonna put it over here for now during the video. And if you're a streamer or you make videos, as you can see right now, it will be blurred in the background. I will link a bunch of options in the description. Now, one of my favorite things is what you see behind me right there. It's the Govee Lyra, and it's an RGB IC floor lamp, which is kind of premium. I think the price is around $150. However, this is easily the most premium looking and premium feeling product that I have in this setup. And this can be used both showing towards you or shining on the wall behind you, for example, or in a corner in the living room. Now, if you're wondering what type of LED light or LED bar, etc. is producing that light strip, you can look up the Govee neon rope. And there we go. We have 2 products here. So this is the desk light that I have right here in the setup behind me and on top. And it's basically an LED strip with a bendable diffuser on top of it. It feels like white transparent rubber, and the neon rope is the exact same thing. And so the same type of bendable rubber LED strip construction, that is the same thing that's inside the Govee Lyra. Alright, now before we go to the next gadget, look at this galaxy light. light. It is not shining that bright anymore, and it's because I was testing how long it can last on the batteries, and I think these were fully charged and the light has been on for around 3.5 to 4 hours. So while batteries are usable, I would definitely advise you to just plug this USB into your PC. You hang the light somewhere in your setup, and then every time you turn on the PC, this light turns on. That way you never have to worry about power. Now, you saw it already. This is the next gadget I want to show. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because a lot of you guys know what this is. It's an RGB Flood Light, but there's a specific reason why I want to show this. Now, the reason I want to show you this RGB Flood Light is that this is one of the cheapest ways to create a whole RGB atmosphere in your room. I'm quickly gonna plug it in, and I'm gonna put it on this desk as a test. And now, as you can see, if you're creating videos or you're streaming, or just if you want a cozy vibe in your room, this is one of the best ways. I think one of these lights costs around $30. I think I have one of the remotes here. Okay, I hope the batteries still work. Let's try to make it red. There we go. So as I said, you can change it to the color of your branding or just to the color you want in your room. An RGB floodlight is an amazing addition to any setup or any room. All right, and since we're walking in this room now, these two lights are amazing. As you can see, they are very big. It's not that you're paying $100 for a tiny light that's somewhere in your setup. I think the two of them together are around $70, and I'm gonna turn them on. You can also change the color of them. Ooh, that's much brighter than the red. By the way, this screen is where we're gonna build the AI RGB light syncing setup. We're gonna do that in a minute. So I've used these lights in a previous video. This is basically white plastic that's wrapped. Actually, maybe I can show you. All right, that's very interesting. So basically this here is pieces of plastic attached together and then an RGB strip attached to it. And this white matte plastic foil just diffuses everything and it looks great in a setup. I made some really cool b-roll of it in a previous video. I will show it right now. Now, this here is all the stuff from the Govee Light Sync box. So this is the most important thing. I explained it before. This PC here is gonna go in this Light Sync box. Then it's gonna go to the screen, so you're gonna see your game. And so the Light Sync box is gonna send all the RGB to these here, and then to these strips, and these strips need to go on the back of this monitor. I'm gonna put it on this table very carefully. And so what we need to do right now is stick these RGB strips on the back. I'm gonna remove the stand to make things easier. And so this light strip comes in 4 parts. It also has adhesive tape on the back, and you basically have to stick this around the edges of the screen. It's for screens between 27-inch and 32-inch. We are definitely gonna have enough light. By the way, these strips look very premium. There's a rubber gel coating on top of them, and they also don't look like those thin, white, flimsy, cheap strips. Just like that, the screen is finished. I'm really curious what this is gonna look like, if this is gonna be a lot of light on the wall. Okay, so I'm going to attach this stand to the monitor. The cable from the strips can be routed like this. And let's see how this is going to look. The USB-C cable from the strips can go in the light sync box. So then whatever is going from the PC to the box can be sent to the strips. And then we can install these 2 bars. We need to aim them at the wall. By the way, before I test this, the last gadget I want to show you is the RGB Cloud Ceiling. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you turn it on. Now, it looks even better if you turn off the lights. So I'm going to turn off this light as well. And if we're going to sync the color of this floodlight to the clouds, it's probably gonna look great. Okay, now to be a fair showcase, I'm gonna turn it off. This is what it looks like on its own. Now, these clouds are from AliExpress. It's from a setup I built. And basically what arrived was cotton batting, then a glue gun to stick them to the wall. It also came with a foil to stick on the ceiling so that you can glue them without actually destroying all your paint. However, after using the glue gun for a few minutes, I decided to use my stapler gun and completely destroy my ceiling. But it was very effective. The cloud ceiling looks extremely satisfying. So this is a great addition to a setup. All right, I'm quickly installing Apex because I want to test all the lights with Apex. Now, something I was worried about is the refresh rate that this here supports, because since the PC is going through this box to the screen, it means that the AI sync box needs to support your resolution and your refresh rate. And I will put here on the screen what is supported. I was kind of relieved because 1440p 144 Hz is what most serious gamers are gaming on. 4K high refresh rate isn't supported, but I don't think a lot of people are using that. It can be a drawback, however, the majority of people will be able to use this here. And Apex is almost finished, so I'm just gonna skip to the testing. So I finished the AI RGB light sync box setup, and I have to be honest, this makes gaming another type of experience. And I'm not sure if it's the AI that's inside of this box, but the lights are actually reacting to some really specific things that are happening on the screen. I know Govee has released some other options in the past to make your RGB react to what's happening on your screen. However, it always was with a camera hanging on top of your screen, looking at what's happening and then making the lights react. And I've never really liked the look of that because, well, there's a giant giant webcam hanging on top of your screen, and with this option that they've released right now, you just can't see it at all. Well, it's on your desk, but it looks cool, and your image is just going through the box and then getting displayed with the lights around the monitor. I really like this way of doing it. Now, if you're interested in this budget gaming setup, one of my next videos is gonna go over all of this stuff. If you want to see more setup gadgets, that video will probably be interesting to you, and if you want to see all my setup videos, that playlist has all of them. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope that I will see you in one of my next videos. Have a nice day.